Several years ago, I took what was an otherwise unremarkable car ride with a gentleman that we were helping with his offshore plan. He had been living overseas for a long time, and he was part of a very wealthy family. He ultimately renounced his U.S. citizenship, and the topic came to, do you ever think you might just want to go back and spend some time living in the United States? Live in Malibu, for example. His very swift reply was, why would you want to go back and live in Malibu when there are so many other places that are just as good and really much better than Malibu at a fraction of the price? It was very interesting because he very quickly summarized the stuff that we talk about here at Nomad Capitalist. There are name brands like Malibu and like California. And then there are the things that, like in so many parts of life, are better than the name brands. There are the hidden little beach cities that have the same quality of life, that have all the same things you'd expect from Malibu, but at a much lower price and without the high taxes of California. So in this video, I wanted to walk through some replacement cities, some ideas that I've had to replace the name brands that you know with lower tax, more business friendly, more freedom-oriented places around the world. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson, and I've been thinking about that conversation. It's one of those ones that just sticks in your mind for the last couple of years. And I've been putting together a list of cities that can replace the cities that people know and love, and oftentimes are afraid to leave. I want you to leave a comment below. What do you think I'm missing? What do you think I'm wrong on? The first city that I always loved growing up as a kid was New York City. It's big, it's bustling, you can fly anywhere in the world, you've got all kinds of cultures, you've got everything happening. And I loved New York until I went to Hong Kong. I said, this is like tropical New York. You have the same kind of grizzled veteran taxi drivers who have no patience for you. You have the parks, you have the sea, you have people all over the place. It's, to me, very interesting replacement. I love Hong Kong. Much lower taxes. I remember sitting in a meeting with some folks once, and they said, do you know the official slogan of Hong Kong? I said, no. They said, make money, law, and keep more of your money, law, because taxes in Hong Kong are very low, as opposed to taxes in New York, which federal, state, city taxes are very high. What else? Number two, Los Angeles. People like living in Los Angeles. Now, obviously, Los Angeles has a lot of different parts to it. There's Orange County, there's the suburbs, there's the Inland Empire, there's Bel Air. Do you know what city I like equally as much as Los Angeles? Is Mexico City. Yes, it's even bigger than Los Angeles. It's bustling. But if you want to go 45 minutes to an hour outside of Mexico City, you've got some really beautiful suburban neighborhoods with beautiful houses, wealthy people. You've got a similar climate. You've got access to a similar culture, great food. I love Mexico City. And you can set it up as an expat to live in Mexico City, at least part-time, and it'd be a lot more friendly for business than California. London. People like London. I love going to London. And I still do go to London as what I call a focus city. But let's talk about an alternative to London, to that British influence. Singapore has a lot of the benefits of London, in my mind, at a much lower cost. It's, again, if Hong Kong is tropical New York, Singapore is tropical London. It's warm, it's hot, it's sticky. One of the complaints people in London often have about London is, why can't it be warmer sometimes? Singapore offers a lot of those benefits. Does it have the entire West End? Of course not. But there's some interesting similarities between the two cities that I think could be a reasonable replacement if you're looking to leave London. Miami. So many places that are like Miami. Now, Miami has its own uniqueness. There are certain cultures. Obviously, there's there's the Cuban culture, there's Caribbean culture. There's so many different cultures there that are fascinating. That you can find a lot of places. Certainly, you could find it, in some of the Caribbean islands where you could move. Lisbon, Barcelona. Barcelona not necessarily tax-friendly for year-round, but it could be a partial deal. Lisbon in Portugal certainly has some benefits. There are ways, albeit a little bit tricky at times, to work out tax exemptions to live in Portugal. Those are two places that if you like Miami, it's a nice alternative. Other places, certainly in the Caribbean, could also be an alternative. Places like some of the islands in Spain in the summer could also work. Lots of places in my mind that could replace Miami. Even Phuket in Thailand could replace Miami. People in Melbourne, Australia. This one I want your feedback on, but I'll tell you, someone suggested Melbourne, said, I thought really Milan gave me a lot of what Melbourne offered. I'll leave that as it is. Other places, Sydney. So many people are really in love with Sydney. It's a really hard place, it seems, for people to leave. And I've known expats who have gone and lived in Sydney, and it was oftentimes one of their favorite places that they lived, even though the taxes in Australia are really brutal. And even taxes on cigarettes, taxes on alcohol, taxes on just daily stuff, it is expensive, and a lot of regulations in Australia. What I found is a lot of folks who've lived in Sydney really like living in Dubai, and in particular at the Dubai Marina. You go over there, and I think a good chunk of Sydney has moved over to the Dubai Marina. Obviously, a little bit different climate, although I suppose not too much of a different climate than other parts of Australia. But you've got the water, you've got the restaurants, you've got the brekkie places, you've got the avo toast, you've got a lot of that stuff. And I think that, quite frankly, if you love Sydney, you quite possibly might like living in Dubai. I do see a lot of synergies with people who are from Sydney who really like Dubai. There are other cities that could also be replacements. What we talk about here, of course, at Nomad Capitalist is no one place is perfect. So you might want to have 2 home bases. You might want to follow my trifecta approach of having 3 home bases. That makes your lifestyle planning and your tax planning even a bit easier. I love lots of cities. Bogota is a great place. Bali is a great place. Kuala Lumpur could be a bit more, edgy, emerging version of London, as a counterpart to Singapore. There are lots of cities that could be good replacements. And by the way, not everyone wants to move to a city. So this is where I want to hear your comments. Obviously, there is only one New York, but I think that there are other places that you can always find a place that offers you the same benefits. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think I missed. And tell me what you think about the idea that you can always replace one city with another. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. I wrote this book, which you can find on Amazon, to distill a lot of the stuff we talk about in these videos and a lot of the stuff I've learned over the last decade plus traveling all around the world, teaching you about how to legally reduce your taxes, build your personal freedom, and create wealth faster. Definitely get a copy of this book if you want to learn more. Now, if you want to watch more videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you click the notifications bell so you never miss one of our new videos with more tips on how to go where you're treated best. And if you're already a 6- or 7-figure entrepreneur and you'd like to put these strategies in place for yourself, go to nomadcapitalist.com and learn about how I can help you.